President Biden is unveiling a new family care plan. The so-called American Families Plan would expand access to child care and education. White House officials say it will be paid in part by raising taxes on the rich. Mr. Biden's proposal comes as many parents have struggled to make basic ends meet due to the pandemic. For more, I want to bring in CBS News reporter Sarah Ewall-Wice. Hi there, Sarah. So the pandemic, as we know, has worsened the child care crisis in the U.S. How does the president's proposal look to address that?
Well, I've been speaking to a number of child care experts and parents this week, and while child care has been a bit greater challenge during the pandemic, this is not a new problem. And the president's package addresses this in two major components. And one part is $200 billion for universal pre-K. That's for 3- and 4-year-olds. They're looking at making this a national state partnership. They say that will basically help 5 million children and save families average $13,000. They're looking at making that accessible in high need areas. The other component of this is daycare, childcare. They're looking at spending about $225 billion. Childcare in this country is extremely expensive. In some cases, we know infant care alone can be more than in-state college tuition. And what the federal officials say is that families should not be spending more than 7% of their income on childcare. So that is really where they set the target, and then it's paid for on a sliding scale. At the same time, there are provisions here to help the childcare providers so that if a child is pulled out of the system or put in the system, the structure is there for them. And also they're looking at having funds specifically for the workers. We know these folks are entrusted to watch our children. However, in many cases with the tight margins for childcare, they're being paid $11, $12 an hour and struggling to make ends meet on their end.
And Sarah, the president is also proposing 2 free years of community college for all. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, so he is proposing, as you said, 2 years of community college. This is for all Americans. There are provisions that basically say this could be part-time or full-time. We know that the price of college has continued to skyrocket. However, many jobs require a college education. So this is something very similar to what he proposed on the campaign trail. Apart specifically from this 2 years of community college, the president is also proposing expanding Pell Grants. Those are the grants for low-income students. Those are right now about $6,500. They're asking to make that an additional $1,400. And then there are provisions to subsidize 2 years of tuition and other provisions for HBCUs, those are historically black colleges and universities, as well as other minority institutions. Interestingly, Senator Bernie Sanders earlier this month also introduced his college plan that actually looks at 4 years of public college and also has income caps on it. So it'll be interesting to see moving forward where Democratic lawmakers come down on this issue and find common ground to move forward with the legislation.
Sarah, we've discussed students, but is there anything in the plan for teachers?
There are. I talk about parents being hard hit during this pandemic. I think another group of folks have been teachers. But even before the pandemic, there has been a teacher shortage in this country, including especially teachers of color. What this plan includes is expanding scholarships for future teachers from $4,000 to $8,000 a year. It also expands programs to help teachers get further credentialed. Some examples of that would be perhaps special education credentials or language credentials. And those are just two of some of the many provisions that are included in this specifically for teachers. It also expands it to early educators.
Finally, Sarah, the plan would also establish a national paid leave program. What's behind that initiative and who would qualify to take time off?
Well, the United States is really the only industrialized country that does not have a paid leave program, and this was very apparent during the pandemic. I spoke with one mother just this week who lost her job when she had to take care of a sick child. So what this plan basically does is it's trying to achieve a national paid family and medical leave program. This will cost about $225 billion. The goal is to have 12 weeks of paid leave by year 10 of the program. It'd be about $4,000 a month. The average of 2/3 of wages for workers per week would be provided. Something to keep in mind is this covers a large group of people. There are provisions specifically for folks who might have a new child at home. There's also the idea this would help people who are taking care of a sick loved one. There's even a line in there about how it would help people who are dealing with a loved one who's going overseas for military deployment. So this really could cross the spectrum on who would be able to use it.
All right, Sarah Ewall-Wice for us. Sarah, thank you very much.